Hi everybody, Roger Peterson back here with another video, and I'm glad to be joined here by Jonas. And the purpose of this video is we're in a remote area of Costa Rica, somewhere in Guanacaste, in the intersection between Guanacaste and Nicoya. And I was riding around one day and I run into Jonas and I go, Jonas, where are you from? He says, Sweden. And I'm like, what is a Swede doing in Costa Rica? Thank you for joining us, Jonas.
Thank you for having me. Well, the reason we decided to move down here with my family is we needed to have a tropical country to live in, since we love, be self-sufficient more. In Costa Rica you can grow food all year round. Sweden have a window about 3 months of summer where we have to grow everything and then store it. So, and that's a life goal for us to live more sustainable and more in tune with the nature, and Costa Rica seems to be the place for it.
Perfect, because that's what I think most people who think about Costa Rica is because of that, the green, the nature, the being outdoors, everything grows. But generally when I hear Swedes, Costa Rica, a lot of people come from North America, Europe. When you hear Swedes, most of them go to like the Asia and things like that. How did you focus on Costa Rica? How did you learn about it? And why did you decide to spend an extended, because now you're here for an extended period of time, right?
Yes, now we're trying to make a life down here. So we've visited Costa Rica 2 times before. The first time was 2010. And the main reason back then was surfing, actually.
Ah, okay, of course.
The surfing took us, and the kite surfing as well. So we traveled around here, and I love the Spanish language as well. And I think the Central American and Southern American culture is very interesting. I don't know, Costa Rica sounded like the place for us.
Your life back in Sweden, where were you from, and what was your background there?
I work as a woodworker in Sweden, and have run my own company together with my girl the last 10 years. Actually it became 10 years together. So we focused on sustainable building and trying to not use chemicals to create a healthy environment for people to live in. The chemical industry is pushing hard. And people don't feel good indoors, and that's the thing in Sweden too. We spend so much time indoors. In Costa Rica, you're outdoors almost all the time.
Exactly. And that's what I like that when we first met. We were talking about, how to live in a house that's made out of natural materials.
Yes.
Because that's where you're focused. You're focused on. I want to live in a room where what I'm breathing is made out of nature. And
yes.
So I found that a very interesting concept until I saw termites on my property.
Yeah.
But you have some interesting ways to resolve that.
Yeah, probably. With this charring of the wood, it is a good way to keep termites away. We haven't done anything down here yet, but it's an Asian technique to keep bugs and rot out of wood. That's our main goal, to create a healthy environment. And I really think you can feel, because the environment around you becomes more relaxed.
Yes.
If you use natural building materials, I guess.
No, I love the concept, and I noticed from like clients of ours who some will move from the States down here, and when they show up, their body's inflamed. They've got all kinds of issues, and within 6 months of being in Costa Rica, just eating the local, de-stressing, you see big changes in their body.
Yeah.
Just within 6 month period.
Yeah.
Would you agree with some of that?
Absolutely. Me and Lisa talks about it a lot because we're very much into what we eat and what we do to maintain our health, and we actually felt like. Now we've been here just over 1 year, and we said to each other, I feel 10 years younger already. Yeah, well, no doubt, because everything you eat is fresh.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
In Sweden, it's fresh, 3 months a year, and then it's not even fresh because it comes from Southern Europe, most of the fruits and vegetables we eat.
Yeah.
So, but down here, everything is picked within a week, I guess, or something. and also the meat is fresh, the fish is fresh. So that's also a main goal, where we can stay close to fresh products.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, the nature as well.
Yeah, we're actually about an hour from Nicoya, which you know, the whole Nicoya area is one of those renowned blue zones for
Yes.
people living healthier, and so that's an interesting part. So we're on the borderline of that area, I would say.
Yes, we are bringing back to blue zones. We read about that, so, and we're lucky we ended up in a blue zone
Blue
actually.
zone, yeah,
But even though we see like the culture is changing here from the blue zoners that
Yes.
grew up back then towards the blue zoners that grows up now. It's a big
Yeah.
difference. You see the influence and see where young people now looking where they want to head.
Yeah.
And that's not where grandpa was.
That's right,
It's more
that's right.
where the rest of the West world is.
Yeah. You mean they're not waking up at 4 in the morning with a machete and working at 4:35 in the morning?
I mean, maybe someone in a finca somewhere, probably.
but
You don't see those guys, but I would love to visit those guys too.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's changing, and the motorcycle, which we hear passing, is now replaced the horse, which
Yeah.
those individuals that grew up, of course, grew
Yes.
up on a horse. They were up early. But that's when Costa Rica was really an agricultural country, and I don't know if you know that, but I was doing research for another video, and Costa Rica is now 72% of the economy services, and only 4.2% is agriculture.
Oh, really?
Yes. Surprised me too. Surprised me too.
Wow. Well, it goes that way in all of the world, actually.
Exactly.
Sweden too. Farmers are shutting down in the hundreds because it's such a tight system to go through with all permits and everything. But all the farmer wants to do is grow stuff, take care of the animals.
Yeah.
Instead, he has to be like pushing papers the whole day,
Certifying permits,
permits,
yeah,
taxes, and everything, and they're making it harder and harder because they want everything to be centralized instead of small farmers.
I think it's getting harder for everybody. Not just farmers, but everybody trying to do things on their own.
Absolutely.
Because depending on the country, you get buried in so much paperwork that
Sweden is
makes it difficult.
extreme in permits.
It is?
Yes,
Yeah.
extreme.
So like opening a business in Sweden would be...
I mean, you need permits probably like you do here, but here I think it's easier just to get started.
Yes.
Because in Sweden it's with all permits and everything. But I mean, you could open a small business, but it wasn't more than 10 years ago or something. They allowed food trucks because of the health issues that might. So you don't see like street vendors and stuff like that because that's not permitted.
Yeah.
So
you come from a very, very regulated environment then.
very regulated in Sweden. And yeah, that's what we needed to get a little bit away from too. So that feels nice.
And that brings an interesting question, because I think people, what they feel here in Costa Rica is they feel a sense of, especially in remote areas like this, you start feeling a little freer.
Yes.
Because you don't, I mean, the arm of the government in these areas is very scarce because there's no resources, so they pretty much leave you alone. As long as you're not hurting anybody, they pretty much leave you alone. How have you felt in that sense?
That is one of the main reasons, actually.
See, I think that's appealing.
And also we like remote areas, but still have access to like good stores with proper organic food and some of the, I mean, luxury things I'm used to sometimes.
Exactly.
But so I like to be in the outskirts of, let's say, a tourist town.
Yes.
Because in tourist town, you can easily make money of tourists, but you still can live on the countryside. So I think it's a mix where you can have both.
That's a great point, because what's also happened in these tourist towns is that the real estate has skyrocketed. So even living in the tourist towns and paying the prices in the supermarkets has gotten pretty expensive. So I think we benefit a little bit by being, like you said, outside of those areas. Being able to go into them, but being able to leave when you want.
Absolutely, not pay to live in it,
exactly.
but to make money in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because we also need people down here with money to buy our services to be able to live here as well.
Exactly. And that's what Jonas was mentioning. Jonas is would I be wrong in describing you as a fine finish carpenter, furniture? Would you tell us a little bit about what's your passion and what your business is that you're looking at?
Yeah. So my background is construction, working with building wooden houses in Sweden. That was my starting in my career as a carpenter.
Okay.
But in Sweden we do both things. We build the whole house from the ground up, a carpenter.
Okay.
So, but when we come indoors, I'm more like the trims, the small, the good finished stuff.
Okay.
So I've noticed I'm more into this. So then I went more into doing finer woodworkings and ending up with furnitures.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. So yeah, you're more of a finish carpenter.
Yeah, that's what I like most.
Yeah.
But I also like just putting a house up from the ground too.
Right.
Because it's satisfying to do each step of a whole house too.
Yes,
and then ending up with the finishing touches and maybe like custom building the kitchen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the main, what I like the most is to work with the wood in a creative way.
Right.
So even renovation was a passion of mine, like renovating wooden houses in Sweden, since it's so creative.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have like this. Everything is already set by a blueprint.
Yeah.
Because here you have to open up and say, oh, okay, then you have to figure it out. You have to do this, just to get it working again. And that's what I liked. And then I noticed, I like to be more creative and more solving problems.
Well, I think you're in the right area, right? I mean, there's so many people moving down, and people like very fine wood. And here we have some exotic woods that I'm even surprised that they're available, like in this area, to work with. So, and people want to see those woods. So I think you've certainly got a market here for what you're doing, and you should do well, especially with you're being meticulous at what you do.
Yeah.
And the quality of woods you're going to find in Costa Rica is a perfect combination for you.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing for me, because in Sweden we have like two main types of wood, and that is pine and fir. So coming down here is like, oh, we got this, we got this, and then you have to learn how they work down here, since it's so moist down here too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of new stuff to learn down here about the wood and the different qualities and what not to use. So it's very exciting times down here.
And in some other video, Jonas is going to show us his place. He literally lives at the end of the road in a remote area, but he's had some interesting adventures there. So Jonas, the other day you were telling me that you were kayaking with your son, and you were out there in the ocean, and just tell us what happened with that little excitement there in your little jungle area.
Yeah, so that's also a reason we ended up here in Costa Rica, is that it feels so wild. There's so much life around us all the time. It's like in Sweden we have summer where we have a lot of birds, but then during the fall, like every animal disappears and comes back in the spring where everything's alive again. But here it's like 24/7 alive here. You hear, I mean, it's like somebody said, it's never quiet in Nosara, but it's like it's never quiet in Costa Rica.
Right.
As Roger said, we live on the beach in a small rancho, and if it's not the big waves that's pounding, it's the jungle that sounds, or the wind, or the rain. So, but the adventures down here is incredible, and that's also what we liked, because in Sweden everything is, well, it's probably like the safest country in the whole world, with all the regulations about safety, about this and that, no poisonous animals, no nothing. So we encountered a few exciting moments down here, as Roger said, with the kayak. We have a small kayak, and me and Leo was out playing with it, and he wanted to be dragged behind the kayak. So we paddled on the beach, just outside the beach, and I was joking with him that, well, you're shark bait back there now. And we made a turn at the end of the beach, and on the way back, a crocodile surfaced like 30 meters in front of us. So Yeah, Leo had to jump in the kayak, and we felt it was safer to just go into the beach and take it easy for a while.
Exactly.
But we knew the kayak was around, and also the crocodile was around, because on one side of the house we have the estero, on the other side of the house is the ocean, and we have the crocodile living in the estero, which we see almost every week.
So it's almost like your pet right next to your house there.
Yes. And yeah, so we had some exciting moments with that crocodile. It actually tried to jump up and take our dog.
Oh my goodness!
Just when we were around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's both scary and it's very exciting. But now we started to build up debris because the stair with the crocodile is also 4 meters from our shower, outdoor shower, that's totally open to the stair. So when you're taking that night shower, you have your flashlight and you don't, you don't close your eyes too much under the water.
That's a little bit too much excitement for me on that one.
Yeah, I like it.
And so, what other kind of experiences have you had in your time in the area that you want to share about? I noticed you ride on your motorcycle around. I'm sure that's,
so far we only have a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's very cheap to get around with fuel.
Right.
And the roads can be really bad. And we've satisfied enough with a motorbike to just go and make the groceries and stuff like that. It's enough.
So you were mentioning that part about the excitement of riding the motorcycles, you often run into all kinds of obstructions on the road.
Yeah, I mean, here you still can meet cowboys on the road, pushing their cattle to the next patch or back home. And I mean, it's a lifestyle where people still use horses to be out here.
Yes.
So I think that's an amazing part of it's like the life on the countryside is still alive here.
Yes.
In many ways, as it probably was back 100, 200 years ago still. In some ways, it hasn't changed.
Exactly. In many ways, I mean, I think the older generation is still hanging on to those old traditions, and thank goodness that whole slow. Because people walk by, they all want to talk. It's all calm. Tell us your story. So nobody's in a hurry.
No. People got more time down here.
Exactly.
Absolutely. People can be satisfied with being down on the beach and fishing one day.
Yes.
There is a guy who fishes the most down there. Since we live on the beach, we see, and he lives just up the street here, and he's there almost every day fishing. So the fishing in Sweden is we're like, oh, there's a guy over there. Okay, I'll move over here. But here, you see them almost stand shoulder to shoulder, and just everyone throwing lines. And I'm like,
everybody together. Exactly.
How did they do it? I mean, the tangles with the lines when they get. I don't know how to do it. How we live down here is also with all the windows open all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, because we live elevated on stilts or poles.
Right.
So we're safe off the ground, but that doesn't mean snakes come up or spiders come up. So one morning we woke at 5 by a squeaky noise, and our dog went crazy. So we checked what's going on, and we had a boa constrictor eating a rat. He had just caught the rat in the stairs leading up to our living space. He was strangling it, so we're like, whoa, that's wild, and started to eat it. So we got it on film actually when he started. I got it on film when he started to eat that rat. And so that's one snake encounter. Another snake encounter is just we made the bed, put down the bug net. Since everything is open, we use a bug net only over the bed. And we were sitting in the sofa, and we heard, what's that noise? Oh, it's just a snake falling down just by our pillows.
Oh my goodness,
Non-poisonous snake, I've noticed, but still a snake falling down by your pillows. Luckily, we weren't there.
It's because you're literally right next to the forest and the jungle.
Yes, there is only 2 houses, and we live in the small house, and the big house is only hosts people a couple of times a year. So we're sitting in the middle of the jungle. Really in the middle of the jungle, and we're so lucky to have that experience on just where the jungle meets the beach. So it's the best of 2 worlds, and it's very exciting with all the animals. So we have another reason for for bringing the whole family down here
Yeah.
is to be able to have a freer lifestyle. Since me and my girl Lisa, we've been self-employed for the last 15 years.
Okay. And how do you find the cost of living in general?
The cost of living down here, especially in this tourist area, is high. It's
Yeah,
very
I
expensive.
think
Yeah,
people-
the food is very expensive, but you can also live cheap.
Yeah.
If you go to the organic market and buy, I mean, we do that once a week. We go to the organic market and we buy all the fruits and veggies for the whole week.
Right.
It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
And down here you also have local guys coming with organic meat. So
okay,
once
okay.
a week we have a meat guy who comes down
Oh.
with from an organic farm just outside Nicoya.
Okay.
So he delivers down to this whole area here. So you place your order and he delivers it to the door.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting to know.
That's a thing I learned about Costa Rica too.
Yeah.
You can have a guy for everything.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you
yes,
can
yes,
have a
yes.
fruit guy coming with
Yes.
fruit. You
You
can
can
have
have a
your
meat
meat
guy, a fish guy.
Yeah, a fish guy. So I have a fish guy too. He works as a fish guide in the fish in the area where they do fishing tours.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that way you've got all your fresh.
Yeah,
You know you're getting fresh stuff.
Yeah, he calls me when he gets off the boat and like, today I got mahi, I'll come by, and he brings it down on his bike. It's like a bag, 4 kilos of tuna. It's like, it's like gold. Everything tastes more here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because the fruit is sun cured on the tree.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not sun cured in a, what's it called? Like a refrigerated area, waiting to go from Spain all the way up to Sweden, and then matures.
Yeah, it's not moving hundreds of thousands of kilometers to get to you. It's
yeah, so everything feels fresh, and also they need to deliver good products.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise they go out of business.
Exactly. Well, we talked a little about your woodworking, and that you're going to set up a little shop to offer more custom furniture. So tell us a little about that, and then where can people get a hold of you if they want you to do some furniture or woodworking?
Yeah. So right now we're staying on the beach. So right now we're focusing on actually finding driftwood and turn nice driftwood pieces into nice furnitures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So no tree was cut by me. No, but I mean, I love to be creative, as I said, with renovating old houses.
Yeah.
Here you find pieces and you have to think about what can I do with it.
Yeah.
To get the most out of that piece. So for over a year now, we've been walking the beach back and forth and collecting driftwood.
And you got a lot of it. You got a lot over there, right?
I got a huge pile, so I can just go and figure out what I want to do. So I have a couple of furniture stuck in my mind that's gonna be. So, and because right now we're like taking care of this property for the owners as well. So as soon as we find our way to our own land, we're gonna set up something more bigger, something more permanent. Because right now, just buying all carpenter tools. So I'm trying to go more analog now.
Yes.
And to keep with hand tools and simple tools, and like make the craftsmanship work instead of all the machines.
Well, I think you'll be very successful with what you do, because clearly you're very meticulous and very careful and thoughtful in the way you execute. So I'm dying to see whatever you come up with. So be sure and share it with us, and let us know where to see your stuff. So this is Leo.
Leo, who moved with us from Sweden. He liked to catch and cook.
Catch and cook. I can't blame him. I can't blame him.
Yeah, he caught, the first time we were on this beach, we saw this black crabs.
Yeah.
And he caught one, and he was like, I'm gonna eat it. And I had my little camping stove with me, so he grilled it over the flame and ate it on the beach.
Ate on the beach. Yeah, I love it. Well, Jonah, Leo, thank you very much for doing this interview. People on this channel, it's all about living, retiring, and moving, and living in Costa Rica. So I think people always like to hear stories about what other people are doing and how their life is going in Costa Rica. So we really appreciate you sharing your life experiences with us in Costa Rica.
Thanks so much for having me, and I can say it feels like retirement.
And you're a young guy.
Yeah, I'm a young guy, and that was my goal, to feel retired when I'm young.
Exactly. You made it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing it.
Feels fantastic.
All righty.